She said coldly, "You have no right to decide my weekend plans. We're not even married yet." I'd booked a table at one of the nicest restaurants in the city, ready to propose with the Van Cleef diamond ring she'd been dreaming about. But she decided to go on a trip with her friends instead. When she came back, her face darkened. I came home after work. The apartment was dark and quiet. I called her. She picked up right away. I could hear loud music and people laughing in the background. "Hey, Andrew," she said. "I'm on my way to the airport. The girls and I decided to go to beach for a few days. It's a sudden trip," I paused. "You're serious?" "Tonight was important," she sighed. "Andrew, you have no right to decide my weekend plans. We're not even married yet." I didn't say anything. I just stood there, phone in hand, staring at the floor. Then I hung up. For a few seconds, everything felt empty. And then something shifted. The frustration disappeared. The sadness disappeared. All that was left was a strange, quiet clarity. I looked at the small ring box on the table, the one I had planned to give her tonight. I knew exactly what I needed to do next. We had been together for 2 years. I'm Andrew, the one with a stable job and my own apartment. Qley moved in about a year ago. From the start, I covered the rent, the biggest expense, and most of the groceries. She only handled the utilities, electricity, internet, and cleaning. It sounded fair at first, but over time I realized I was covering almost everything that mattered. Qley is very social. She has a close group of friends called the Sparrows. They hang out almost every day, take sudden trips, and share every moment online. I was never part of that circle. I'm not the kind of person who needs to go out all the time. I like quiet dinners, planning trips, small moments that mean something. Qley likes noise, parties, and being surrounded by people. In our relationship, I was the planner. I remember dates, booked tables, bought gifts, and made every effort to keep things special. She often cancelled plans at the last minute. Sometimes it was because she was tired. Sometimes it was a last-minute hangout with the girls. I didn't argue much. I thought it was better to let her have her space. But slowly, it stopped feeling like a relationship. Her friends treated my apartment like their place. They came over uninvited, ate my food, watched TV, and left a mess. Qley said I was being too serious. When I decided to propose, I thought maybe this would balance things again. Maybe she would see how much she meant to me. I spent weeks planning the dinner and saving for the ring, but when she cancelled that night without hesitation, to go on a random trip with her friends, I finally saw the truth. It wasn't just about priorities. It was about respect. I was giving her everything. And she didn't even notice. That was the night I stopped trying to prove my worth to someone who never valued it. I sat on the couch, staring at the ring box on the coffee table. For a long time I didn't move. Then I opened it. The ring looked perfect, but the meaning was gone. I didn't feel sad. I just felt done. I picked up my phone and called Mike, my best friend. He answered fast. "Hey man, what's going on?" "I'm buying dinner tonight," I said. He laughed. "What's the occasion?" "My freedom," I said. "Bring Josh and Lena. Same restaurant as usual." That night I showed up at the restaurant wearing the same suit I'd planned to wear for the proposal. The staff recognized me. The reservation was still in the system. I told them to keep the table for 4. Just me and my friends. When my friends arrived, they looked around. "Where's Qley?" Josh asked. "She's not coming," I said. "Actually, she's gone for good." We sat down, ordered drinks, and I told them everything. The call, the words she said, the trip, all of it. Nobody interrupted me. When I finished, I took out the ring box and placed it on the table. "This was supposed to be hers tonight," I said. Now it's just a reminder of how naive I was. The table went silent for a few seconds. Then Mike raised his glass. "To lessons learned," Lena added, "and to better women in the future." We laughed, we toasted. At first, the atmosphere felt strange, like a mix of relief and disbelief. But soon the tension disappeared. We talked, joked, and laughed about old stories. I hadn't felt that relaxed in a long time. For a second, I thought about how different the night turned out. Same table, same suit, but a completely different reason to smile. At one point, Lena looked at me and said, "You know, Andrew, this is probably the healthiest thing you've done all year." I smiled. "It's about time, right?" Mike ordered way too much food. Steaks, dessert, wine, said it was a breakup banquet. But for me, it didn't feel like a breakup. It felt like freedom. Before leaving, Lena asked, "Want me to take a picture?" We stood together, glasses raised, smiling. She took a few shots. "Should I post one?" she asked. I shook my head. "No, let's keep it between us. This wasn't about showing off or revenge. It was just real friendship. People who showed up when I needed them most." Later that night, I got home, put the ring box back in the drawer, and looked around. Same apartment, same silence, but this time it felt like mine again. After the dinner, I went home and started packing. Not my things, and as it took me the whole night. I folded her clothes, sorted her makeup, her shoes, and all the little things she had left all over the apartment. I put everything in boxes. It wasn't anger. It was closure. For once, the place looked clean. I hadn't changed the locks yet. I wanted her to take her things herself. No drama, no yelling. 3 days later, I heard the door unlock. Qley came in wearing sunglasses, carrying a few shopping bags and a tan from her trip. She looked surprised to see the boxes. "Hey," she said casually, "why is everything packed?" I stayed calm. "Your stuff's ready for you to take." She froze. "What do you mean, ready for me to take?" "I'm asking you to move out." Her expression changed immediately. Confusion to shock, then to anger. "Are you serious right now? You're kicking me out." "What the hell, Andrew?" I nodded. "You said it yourself. I have no right to plan your weekend. You're not my wife, so you don't have to live here anymore either." She threw her bags on the floor. "That was just something I said." "You're overreacting. You can't just—" "I can," I interrupted. "It's my apartment. I pay the rent." She laughed bitterly. "Oh, so now it's all about money. You think because you pay for this place you get to control me?" I didn't raise my voice. "No, I just think I deserve respect, which I haven't had for a long time." She started pacing. "You're unbelievable. I go away for a few days and you lose your mind. Are you even hearing yourself?" I didn't respond. I just started carrying a few boxes closer to the door. Then it happened. As I leaned down to grab one, the ring box fell from my jacket pocket and hit the floor. Qley stopped. She stared at it. "What's that?" she asked quietly. I didn't answer. She walked over, picked it up, opened it, and froze. Inside was the Van Cleef and Arpels ring. Her face changed instantly. All the anger disappeared. Her voice softened. You were going to propose?" I said nothing. She looked up, eyes wide. "Andrew, I didn't know." "I swear, if I had known—" I cut her off. "You did know something important was planned. You just didn't care." She took a step closer. "No, please, listen. I made a mistake. I was stupid. I thought it was just another dinner. I didn't mean to hurt you." Her eyes filled with tears. She reached for my hand. "Please, can we talk about this?" "I'll fix it. I'll make it up to you." For a second, I almost felt sorry for her. Then I remembered everything. The calls she ignored, the plans she cancelled, the way she talked to me like I was an option. I pulled my hand away. "Don't," I said. "You don't get to fix this." "I already did." She looked confused. "What do you mean?" "The dinner still happened," I said. "I just shared it with people who actually care about me." Her lips trembled. "You're lying." "I'm not. I had dinner with Mike, Lena, and Josh. Same restaurant. Same table. We called it a celebration of freedom." Her tears stopped almost instantly. The guilt turned into rage. "You're unbelievable," she yelled. "You humiliated me. You made me look like a fool." "No," I said quietly. "You did that yourself." She stood there, shaking, switching between crying and yelling. At one point, she screamed, "You'll regret this. Everyone's going to know what kind of man you really are." I didn't respond. I just pointed at the boxes. "Your Uber should be here in 5 minutes." For a moment, she just stared at me. Then she grabbed one of the boxes, wiped her face, and walked out. A week passed after she moved out. I thought it was finally over. But then it started. One morning, I woke up to a flood of messages. Old friends, co-workers, even my cousin texted me, "Hey man, what's going on?" I opened Instagram. There it was. A long post from Qley. I just wanted to share something painful. My boyfriend was planning to propose, and right after, he threw me out of his house. He even celebrated that night, a big dinner with his friends, laughing like nothing happened. She attached a photo of the ring box and a few pictures of me and my friends from that dinner. I realized one of the restaurant staff must have taken those photos and posted them online. Her post got hundreds of likes in hours. The comments were brutal. Wow, what a psycho. He's emotionally abusive. Poor girl, she deserves better. I didn't reply. I didn't post anything. But I didn't need to. By the end of the day, Mike called me. She really did it, huh? He said, yeah, I replied. Let her have her moment. Lena wasn't as calm. Moment? She's lying about you, Andrew. We were there. We know exactly what happened. I told her not to get involved, but she didn't listen. That night, Lena posted a simple story. Funny how some people forget to mention the part where they ditched a proposal to party on beach. Then Josh followed. For everyone asking, that dinner wasn't a celebration after throwing someone out. It was a breakup recovery dinner for a friend who deserved better. Within hours, the comments under Qley's post started changing. People asked questions. Screenshots spread fast. Her messages, the call she made, everything. Then something unexpected happened. 2 of our neighbors commented too. One of them wrote, Andrew's one of the kindest guys here. He helped me fix my door last month and never asked for anything. Doesn't sound like the monster she's describing. Another said, they were living together. He paid the rent. She just paid for the Wi-Fi. Maybe she should tell the full story. By the next morning, Qley deleted her post. Then her friends, the Sparrows, started getting backlash too. People mocked them in comments. Still planning another trip to ignore someone's feelings. Friendship goals, abandon responsibility together. Eventually, they all went silent. For a couple of days, my feed was filled with people arguing, some defending her, some calling her out. I didn't comment once. I just watched it fade. For so long, I'd been the one trying to defend her, explain her, make excuses. Now I didn't have to say a word. The truth defended itself. A few days later, she texted me for the first time since moving out. I didn't mean for it to go that far. Can we talk? I looked at the message for a while. Then I deleted it. After everything that happened, I decided to cut all contact. I went to the jewelry store, returned the Van Cleef & Arpels ring, and sold it back through their resale program. It felt strange at first, giving back something that had carried so much meaning. But when I walked out, I felt lighter. The apartment was quiet again. For the first time in months, that silence didn't bother me. It felt peaceful. The first few nights alone felt strange. Then it started to feel normal. For months, I stayed single on purpose. I just wanted to be okay on my own first. I focused on work. Started going to the gym again. Met up with my friends more often. Not to talk about the past, but just to live normally. A few months later, I met someone new. Her name was Emma. We met through a mutual friend at a birthday dinner. She was different, calm, kind, and honest. When we talked, I didn't have to fight for attention. She listened, and she never made me feel like I had to compete with anyone for her time. It wasn't dramatic or fast. It was steady, real. As things got serious, I started thinking about proposing again. This time, I didn't want to repeat the past. I didn't use the old ring or the same restaurant. I bought a new ring. From a different brand, even more expensive, but that wasn't the point. It symbolized something new. When I gave it to Emma, I told her, this isn't just about marriage. It's about starting something honest. Something that belongs to both of us. She smiled and said yes. And for the first time, it felt right. Looking back, I don't regret what happened with Qley. It taught me the most important lesson I could have learned. Never stay in a place where you're treated like an option. Sometimes, losing the wrong person is how you finally make space for the right one.
I hope today's story offered you a moment of deep reflection and perhaps a bit of clarity for your own journey. If you felt a connection to our character struggle and triumphs, or if you simply enjoy the soulful narrative we share here on Versatile, please take a second to hit the like button and subscribe. Your support is the heartbeat of this channel. It is the fuel that keeps me searching for the most authentic, raw, and meaningful slices of life to bring to your screen. By joining us, you are not just watching a video, you are becoming part of a community that values truth and resilience. In the world of love and commitment, A partner betrayal feels like a sudden earthquake. In an instant, the foundation of trust you spend years, perhaps decades, building is shattered into dust. The pain is real, and the silence that follows can be deafening. But I want you to remember this. Sometimes we are forced to walk through the rule, not to mourn what was lost, but to realize that true happiness can never be found by clinging to someone who was never brave enough to be honest with you. The deep risk of a broken relationship often hides a path to your true self. A partner deception is a reflection of their character, not a definition of your worth. Never let their shadow dim your light. Instead, see their existence as a signal from universe, a loud, clear message that you have outgrown a space that was too small for your soul. When the protagonist of our story finally steps onto his new path, it isn't just the swiftest form of revenge. It is something much more powerful, absolute, unfiltered freedom. Always remember, the goal of living a toxic marriage isn't necessarily to rush into the arms of someone new. The real victory is finding courage to be alone, to heal, and to finally find yourself again. Because once you are whole on your own, no one can ever take your happiness away from you. Thank you for lending me your ear, your time today. Be kind to yourself, stay strong, and I will see you in the next story, only on Versatile.